In one of our last video, we talked about how you can build your perfect team in general with multiple criteria to help you with the process. One of the items mentioned in the video was to have synergy, and part of that synergy is Elemental Resonance. In case you missed that video, what exactly is Elemental Resonance? Well, Elemental Resonance is a special buff provided to all members of a team when there are at least two members of the same elemental type. For example, Anemo and Anemo in the same team. There can be a maximum of 2 elemental resonances available at the same time. As this elemental resonance buffs the whole team, it is important to ensure that you know which to use at which time so that your party members can benefit through higher damage, survivability, or quicker traversal. In today's video, we'll be going through in greater detail about the elemental resonance, covering 3 different areas. First, we have the details of each resonance and examples of who they will benefit. Second, is which resonance is the most viable or the best. Last but not least, we have how do you decide which resonance to use and when to use them. Before we begin the video, can I just say a very huge thank you to everyone for helping us to reach 1000 subscribers. Yay! You have helped me to achieve a goal that I wanted since the very beginning. Of course, this is just the start. There will be more videos to come and I foresee this channel growing even more. To all of you that were here since the start, you have my sincerest thanks and let's grow more together. As part of the 1000 subscriber celebrations, I will also be having a Q&A session at the end of this video where I'll be answering questions that you guys have asked me. Do stay till the end if you would like to hear me answer some questions. To those not subscribed, do consider doing so and join our family here. Without further ado, my name is ChargeCoin and let's begin the video. Firstly, let's talk about the details of each resonance and examples of who will benefit. For the Anemo Resonance, it does 3 things. It decreases stamina consumption, increases movement speed, and shortens skill cooldown. What this essentially means is that you can move faster around the map with less stamina, and your skill cooldown will be 5% faster. Honestly, 5% isn't that impressive, so the Anemo Resonance mainly focuses on traversal. If you're exploring an area, such as for Fontaine, the Anemo Resonance will definitely be useful for you to explore even quicker. For the Geo Resonance, it will make your shield stronger, and when your characters are protected by a shield, they will have increased damage and enemies will have their Geo resistance lowered as well. The Geo Resonance is honestly really strong since it buffs all damage, thereby allowing your characters to deal more damage to the enemy. The only real downside here is that a shield is required for the effect to work, so do bring shielders such as Zhongli and Noel who can more reliably trigger shields rather than rely on the crystallized reaction. For the Cryo Resonance, you usually will be less concerned with the first part and more with the second. Anyway, basically if characters are affected by Cryo or Frozen, crit rate increases. When you pair this with the 4-piece Blizzard Slayer set, you can essentially get about 55% crit rate increase on Frozen enemies. If you can get at least 45% crit rate on your artifacts, you end up with almost 100% crit rate on Frozen enemies, which is quite insane. This particularly benefits characters in freeze compositions such as Ayaka, since it means that they can focus on building crit damage instead of crit rate for greater damage output. For the Electro Resonance, when you trigger an electro-related reaction, you will generate an electro particle for your team with a cooldown of 5 seconds. This is especially beneficial for characters with high burst cost such as Raiden and Yae. They both have the highest burst cost in the game at 90. With the Electro Resonance, Yae is able to gain back half of her energy on a single enemy from 0 thanks to the Electro Resonance. However, if she doesn't have the resonance, it will take a lot longer, which means that you may be able to use her burst a lot less frequently. For the Pyro Resonance, it will increase attack by 25%. There really isn't much to say here. Having more attack will increase the damage output of characters who can scale off attack, such as Hu Tao, Yoimiya, and Xingqiu. Obviously, you know, most of the characters in the game. This extra attack is almost always beneficial. For the Hydro Resonance, it will increase HP by 25%. This can benefit 2 types of characters. Characters who can scale off HP for damage or benefit from it, such as Yelan and Hu Tao, and characters who scale off HP for healing, such as Kokomi and Barbara. As the Hydro Nation of Fontaine is coming soon, and given the trend that MiHoYo has been doing all along, I believe more characters from that region will scale off HP, and hence will be able to benefit more from the increased HP that this resonance provides. For the Dendro Resonance, it will increase Elemental Mastery, and after you trigger a Dendro related reaction, the character's Elemental Mastery will be increased even more. This is of course the most beneficial for Dendro related reactions, and for characters who scale off Elemental Mastery, such as Saino, Nilo, and Kuki Shinobu. For the final so-called resonance, we have the Canopy. Canopy can only be activated when all characters in the team have a different element, which increases your elemental resistance and physical resistance. Generally this isn't too helpful, but I guess it can be a little useful for characters with lower defense, such as Catalyst and Bow users, to have more survivability out in the field. So out of all the 7 elemental resonances, which is the best? To be very honest, all of them are viable. It really has to depend on the type of team compositions you are going for, as well as your character's kits. For example, Hydro Resonance will be best if you are going for a team that scales off HP for damage. But if I had to choose my top 3, I would say Pyro for the attack increase, Geo for the damage and shield strength increase, and Hydro for the HP increase. All these are straightforward, versatile, and can be beneficial on multiple teams in the game. So now that you're aware of the various resonances and which are the best, how do you decide whether to use a particular resonance and when to put the right elements in your team? Let's use 2 examples to illustrate. For the first example, as we know, Zhongli is one of the perfect teammates for Hu Tao, not just because he literally works under her in the Wangshen funeral parlor, but because his shield can help to prevent her from getting hit, providing resistance to interruption and preventing her from dying due to her being on constantly low health. Even though this current team only has 1 resonance, it is fine due to Zhongli's value. But what if I do not have Zhongli available because I would like to use him on another team? This is quite common in the Abyss. In that scenario, how do I give Hu Tao the shield she needs, but also similar effects to Zhongli's shield, which decreases the enemy's elemental resistance by 20%? That is why I bring Toma instead. He can also provide a shield like Zhongli, even though it isn't as strong, but since he's from the Pyro element, which is the same as Hu Tao, he can help to activate the Pyro Resonance, thereby increasing the team's attack by 25%. While it's not as amazing as Zhongli's shield's resistance down effect, the higher attack is good nonetheless for a DPS character to benefit from. In short, to make up for the lack of a character, I can always use a particular resonance to cover that hole. Let's give another example. I have this Hyper Bloom team with Yelan. The Hydro Resonance is in effect, which increases max HP by 25%. This helps to increase Yelan's own damage due to a scaling of HP. If you want to deal more damage with Yelan, fine, that team will work too. However, what if I want the Hyper Bloom damage to be stronger instead? In that case, I will need to increase the Elemental Mastery. I can do so by swapping Yelan or Xingqiu out for another Dendro character like Baizu. Now, there is the Dendro Resonance which increases Elemental Mastery, thereby allowing for higher Hyper Bloom damage. To summarize, depending on the type of damage I want to use, I can change up the team to fit that damage a lot better. To conclude, we have covered all the details of the various elemental resonances, which elemental resonances are the best, and in which scenarios you can or don't have to use them. Additionally, note that you do not always have to have 2 elemental resonances. If you can have 2, it may be beneficial and help your team out, but don't let it restrict you, since sometimes having a particular character of a different element, such as Zhongli, may be more beneficial than having a resonance. I hope that with greater knowledge of the resonances, you would now be more clear on how you can use them in your team building. If you need help, you can always leave a comment in the comment section below, and either myself or the wonderful community will be happy to help you out. Before we end today's video, I would like to first do the question and answer session to celebrate us hitting 1000 subscribers. Please stay behind if you would like to listen to my answers. Hello everyone, ChargeCoin here. Thank you so much for getting me to 1000 subscribers. As part of the celebrations, I thought of just holding a question and answer session where I get questions from all of you loyal subscribers and try to answer them as much as possible. Alright, so as you can see, this is kind of an impromptu session. I didn't really prepare in advance,
So I hope that if I screw up or anything, I hope that you can forgive me for that. Alright, so let's move on to the first question. For the first question, we are from GamerLed1148. He or she mentioned, what got you into Genshin in the first place? Well, actually for me, right, I got into Genshin when I first saw all the various ads in 2020. Basically, before Genshin was released, they actually had many different advertisements all around the country. So be it at the train station, be it at the bus stop, on the buses themselves, I actually saw many of all these ads. At that time I wasn't particularly interested, but that was when I got a YouTube ad of the Xiangling's demo. That was when actually I found out that, oh, this game actually looked quite interesting and the voice acting seems pretty good also. And after I gave it a try, I was quite surprised because the game was actually quite amazing. So since then I started playing Genshin, and until now, yeah, I have not stopped since then. So another one from her is, or him or her, is that also, do you have pets? Yup, I have one dog, but currently she's at my parents' house. Yeah, and this question was also asked by Rash7 and Ian Fitri about what inspired me to make my channel. So actually, since I was young, I think about maybe 17 years old, I was always inspired by so many YouTubers making gaming videos. You know, it's like, we all like playing games, right? So from playing games, it's like you play your game and you can actually make something to make other people entertained and happy. I felt that was quite rewarding and something fun for me to do as well. So but at that time I didn't really have the right resources, and kind of a lot of things were holding me back. But recently I just got married and I just shifted into my new house. So since I thought, new start, new beginning, right? So might as well just give it a try, just work on it, and just keep trying to build up my channel properly from then onwards. So actually I started my channel properly, started posting Genshin videos about less than a month ago actually, on the 27th of July. So I'm actually really happy that in just 1 month I managed to attain 1,000 subscribers, and of course I'll keep going and hope to provide even better content for everybody over here. Okay, and he or she also asked how your editing style developed. Oh, thank you so much for liking my editing style, but honestly I didn't really think there's anything that special though. But I do have some I guess Genshin YouTubers who I look up to. One being I Win to Lose Gaming, and another one being the Gacha Gamer. Actually, both of them really inspired me to also create this channel, and the sort of transition between one clip to another, I sort of got the inspiration from them. Please do check them out also if you're interested. Yeah, and maybe let's answer more questions from Ian Fitri. So Ian Fitri also asked, what were the ups and downs of the journey to where you are now? So as I mentioned earlier, I've only been doing this properly for about 1 month. Yeah, so of course the ups and downs will be that sometimes when my videos aren't doing that well, it's like, oh, I actually put in a lot of effort in the videos, but somehow, they're just not getting the views that I hoped. But sometimes, I guess you don't have to worry so much because the YouTube algorithm is quite funny. Then eventually somehow it just works out. And for example, one of the video that I'm very proud of, the Create Your Perfect Team, somehow it just blew up overnight, and now it's about 10k views or so, and one of my biggest videos on my channel right now. So definitely maybe another down is that also sometimes I run out of video ideas. That is one of the questions later on, right? So I usually will run out of ideas so I'll spend day and night trying to think of what kind of ideas I can have. So that's probably one of the downs that I believe I have for this channel. He also asked favorite thing about Genshin. Honestly, for Genshin I really like a lot of things. They can be for the character design, of course the story itself. The story is very interesting. I really love Sumeru's story, and of course Inazuma with the Raiden Shogun fight and so on. And of course the music is always amazing. Every single boss fight, especially look at Scaramouche's boss fight. It's just so amazing when they blend Inazuma's music with his own Fatui music as well. It's just so amazing, Ian Fitri also asked fun facts about myself. So I guess I can just share that this year I will be 28 years old, and I just got married to my very beautiful wife. And last time I was a cosplayer, so now I do it a lot less, but when I can do it, I usually try to do it with my wife as well. So hopefully maybe I'll get her in next time for the next video also. Yeah, and as I mentioned earlier, I just shifted into my new house, so still trying to settle down. It's just only been about a month or so. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. So for the next question, we are from Neptune. Neptune asks, I'd like to know what are your favorite characters from each element, and one thing you like about them. Rash7 also has a similar question about who are your top 2 to 3 favorite Genshin characters and why. So to answer your question, maybe let's start from Anemo. I think you can tell for Anemo, I like Venti the best. So since the very beginning, of course, Venti was the one of the first characters we see in Genshin, and since then, I actually just really liked his design, and of course his story quest as well. Where is Act 2 of his story quest, right? But he just basically inspired me because of his design, and I felt that he actually fits my physique. He inspired me to go and pick up cosplay again, because I actually stopped cosplay for quite some time before I picked up Genshin. So Venti, even though he's not as good now, he's still my favorite Anemo character, or my favorite character in Genshin. Maybe next let's go for Geo. Geo, I mean, there aren't many characters, is the element with the least characters now, but I believe that maybe Zhongli, because I was super hyped when I saw his trailer at the start. So it's like he just stands there menacingly and get hit by the Hilichurls. It's like just super cool. Yeah. I mean, next maybe Electro. Electro, obviously Raiden Shogun. She's the only character I've gone to C3 with, just because I really love her sword and the amount of power and value that she actually brings to the team. Next up we have Cryo. So Cryo, we have Ayaka. So initially I didn't really like Ayaka that much, but after I saw her story cutscene where she actually danced in the water with her socks, right? That one actually made me fall in love with her. And after that, I actually asked my wife, my then fiance, to do Aether and Ayaka cosplay with me. I actually really loved that photo shoot a lot, and since then, Ayaka became my favorite Cryo character. Next we have Pyro, right? So for Pyro, my favorite is Hu Tao. Hu Tao mainly because her Japanese voice actor is Takashi Rie, so is one of the voice actresses that I actually like. So if you don't know her, she also voices Ai from Oshinoko, Emilia from ReZero, for example. Though I really liked that voice actress, and when Hu Tao came out, she's just so fun. Seems like a fun person to be around, and what's more, her gameplay just made her so much better, and that is why Pyro, Hu Tao is my favorite. What else? Okay, we have Hydro next. So Hydro wise, this one is a tough one because I am not particularly too interested in Hydro. Hydro, I guess maybe Xingqiu. Initially I didn't like Xingqiu as much also, because to me he felt rather plain, but I liked him better after I got Hu Tao, because I put in my team to allow Hu Tao to use Vaporize with. Then after that, I just found that he's just a great character, you know. After I did cosplay his Ao no Okinawa version, the one from the Inazuma event quest as well. So since then I really like Xingqiu for Hydro. And last but not least for Dendro, I mean, I think probably no surprise, right? You can tell that I like all the Archons. So my favorite for the Dendro element is Nahida. Nahida just because she's so adorable, and from the story quest just makes you want to, you know, protect her so much, right? So I guess that's all the 7 elements and all the characters that I like from them. Yeah, so I guess just to summarize, for Anemo I like Venti, Geo I like Zhongli, Electro I like Raiden, Dendro I like Nahida, then for Hydro I like Xingqiu, Pyro, Hu Tao, and Cryo Ayaka. Okay, yeah. Then for the next question, we have from a few different people. One is from Mikhail, one is from Neptune, and one is from Rash. They all asked how do I get so many ideas for my videos and how I manage to edit and publish one every single day. So initially when I started out the YouTube channel, right, I thought of making one video every week. So I will schedule one video maybe this week, and the following week another video will come out. So that will actually give me a lot of time, or rather buffer in between. But that was when I felt like I really wanted to make YouTube a proper, career and to build up the channel. And after that, I saw a somewhat of a tutorial on how to properly start YouTube. And on that tutorial, that the person actually mentioned that you have to post videos consecutively for 30 days so that YouTube algorithm will know who to so-called send out the videos to. So of course 30 videos is quite daunting, right? But most people will prepare beforehand, like maybe 10 videos before they officially start their channel. But I had already started the channel when I watched this tutorial, so I was already like 2 to 3 videos in. So because of that, I decided to just push out the videos, and I ended up pushing them out every single day. So how do I actually make and edit one every day? I guess it's just determination, right? I first have to make the script of what I want to say. Then the script usually takes about maybe 30 minutes to 1 hour. After that is recording of the gameplay, so it can be from maybe commissions or just fighting the world bosses. Then last but not least is the editing as well. The editing, I believe, takes the longest time, because sometimes I might find that I have certain clips missing. I will go back into Genshin to try and get the clips also. So editing is definitely the hardest part. But overall, I guess maybe per video it takes around 3 to 5, maybe 3 to 7 hours. So really it's just the perseverance that keeps me going, and of course all of you guys that are here subscribed and constantly giving me all the nice comments. That is how I keep going. As for the ideas wise, as I mentioned earlier, right, it's really just thinking of them every single day. All these are based on my own personal experiences. I personally do not really like to go into too much details, like maybe some of the YouTube channels out there, like I've been to Loose Gaming. He has a huge sort of Excel spreadsheet to see what kind of damage calculations are there. I personally don't really like to do all those things. I like to do them through my own experiences, and so basically I'm just translating my experience that I have gathered since day 1 patch of Genshin all the way until now, to share all the tips and what I've learned throughout with all of you guys. But I am running out of video ideas, so of course it'll be great if you can just share with me what kind of video or what kind of ideas you would like to see in the next few videos. Okay, so moving on from Martin Robert 8, he asked, what feature in Genshin made you continue to play the game from version X, in my case is day 1, so the very first version 1.0 to now? Was there some time you thought to stop playing temporarily or permanently? So what made me stay in Genshin is really just the characters, gameplay and story. I mean, Genshin is really very very fun to me. I don't really feel like putting it down, and even up till today I've never missed a single day of commissions. I've logged in every single day. So just to me, Genshin is really really fun, and I need the Primo gems so that I can roll for the next limited banner character as well. But of course there were times that I thought to stop playing temporarily, because for example from patch I guess 1.5 to Inazuma, which is 2.0, it was really really dry. There was no new content at all, and especially there was one patch where Eula came out. I think it was 1.5 or something. There was literally nothing in that patch, only events. Super boring, right? Yeah, at least 1.6 there was the clear adventure, so that was still okay. But every time there will always be a lull in Genshin after the Archon quest, whatever stories are finished. Then we really just have to wait. So I guess farming artifacts, farming hero weights and things like that, to kill the time before a new region comes out. I mean, now it's the same too, right? Once you're done with the key event, you don't really have anything to do in Genshin anymore. So all you can do is just prepare and also wait for Fontaine. And speaking of Fontaine, I'm really really super excited for it, especially the Hydro Archon. how cute she looks and how how her gameplay will be. I'm really excited to see how more of that. Yeah. So next we have from Res4619. He or she mentioned, what do you want us to call you? I assume Coin because it's part of your channel name, but I'm not sure. I think you can just call me Charge Coin. Yeah, I think that is good. How I came up with the name is because of the very first anime I watched was something called Toaru Kagaku no Railgun, or A Certain Scientific Railgun. So in that in that anime, one of the characters' name is Misaka Mikoto, and she basically can shoot a railgun using a coin. So to shoot the railgun, she'll have to charge the coin with electricity and so-called shoot the railgun, right? So because of that, she's my very first so-called favorite anime character, and that's why I named my channel and my gamer tags and whatever after charged coin, charging the coin to shoot the railgun. Yeah. Then what do you want to call the fan base? I have a few ideas, but I want to know what you think. So personally, I have no idea what to call. So if you guys can leave some suggestions, I think that would be great as well. Okay. Rash7 also asked, do you plan on making a community Discord server later on for a Charged Coin channel, right? So yes, I plan on making a Discord channel. Personally, I'm not too well versed with Discord because I don't really use it as much. But I will certainly take a look, and I'll try to set it up as soon as possible so that we can all interact with that. And if you guys have any ideas or videos, you can share it with me as well. Okay. And last but not least, we have from Sloppy Silver, who asked what is the capital of Antarctica. That is a very interesting question because I never really thought about it. And since I saw the question, I went to look it up. And I realized that Antarctica has no capital. So that's quite interesting. Okay, so with that, we have come to the end of today's question and answer session. Thank you so much once again for getting me to 1,000 subscribers. And of course, if you have any other questions that you feel like you forgot to ask or I couldn't answer in today's video, you can feel free to leave your comments down in the comment section below. And I'll be happy to answer them via replies as well. So thank you so much for the 1,000 subscribers. And onward to the next one, which is perhaps 10,000. And yeah, thank you so much, and this is Charge Coin, and see you next time.